Good morning. It is Saturday. Is it Saturday? The 2nd? My days are all like running in together. Sorry for the glare here. I got my contacts on. And then my lesser readers. I can kind of see, but, it's a habit to have these on. What are you doing, though, on Saturday this morning? I am craving a really good Bloody Mary, and I don't know why. It might just be the salt. This might be the salt. Let me show you my shirt. I had a t-shirt business at one time where I designed shirts. And anybody who is from the St. Louis, Missouri area will know exactly who this is or what this is. It's where I used to go stand in line for tickets for concerts, and they had records and all those album covers and everything. But anyway. And then I just got my black leggings on. I don't think I'm leaving the house today, but I really, really could go for a good Bloody Mary. Drinking coffee still. Been up since really, really early this morning. Did you know that if you take your resume and you upload it to GPT, according to whatever your resume says, GPT will pull up all the jobs that are available and who are hiring, so it narrows your chances of sending to a direct company instead of going through, the hoops of all the LinkedIn and Indeed and so on and so forth, and you just take that job, that information, and directly send your resume to it. I'm looking for program coordinator jobs. I'm looking for vendor coordination jobs. I am looking for, did I say program manager, program coordinator. I don't want an events coordinating job. I've had that job. No, I want something hybrid. I want something that pays $30 an hour, and I want something I can work roughly Monday through Friday, but part-time. The jobs are out there. Right now, the History Museum is hiring. I don't want to do anything in St. Louis City or St. Louis County, although Jefferson Barracks, at their Civil War Museum, who I know, the program director, know him really well, went to grade school or high school with him. He was my cousin's best friend. They have an opening. It's like I don't know what I want to be attached to at this point, other than I desperately leading out of food and beverage. I can't say it enough. Each time I go in, it's just something more I no longer want to do. And because I can't teach all my classes like I want to, got to be able to do something. I did hear, change the subject a minute because I'm just rambling right now. I did hear that they are doing away in the medical, let's talk the medical industry for just a second, because you all know how I feel about Western medicine. Big Pharma is doing away with the GPL-1s. If you buy it out of pocket, it's $490. I'm trying to not have a glare here. It's $490 if you are, let's try that, pay out of pocket. Insurance companies no longer want to pay for it, so therefore, pharmacy, they're just going to do away with the whole drug in itself. Make sense to me. I typically take really good care of myself. 5 foot. I don't know how much I weigh. I could be maybe 10 pounds thinner. I mean, I'm relatively size 8. I don't need a GLP. I watch my sugars. I watch my salt intake. I watch what goes into my body. And because I have a very physical kind of job, I don't really do a whole lot of exercise anymore. Although I really miss walking and I want to get back into walking. But until I lean out of the job that I currently have that completely depletes me physically, it's really hard to do any more exercising. But I thought that was rather interesting this morning about the GLP-1. Make it make sense. Make anything in the healthcare industry make sense. You know, I was watching a meme. In fact, I put it up on my Facebook page. Guy has a headache. Calls to try to get an appointment at a doctor. And doctor says, hey, you need health insurance. The guy says, okay, I'm going to go get health insurance. Health insurance is $500 a month. Guy goes back to that doctor, and the doctor says, oh, sorry, I don't take that insurance. And the guy said, the doctor says, I can't see you because you don't have health insurance. And the guy says, but I already bought health insurance and it's, $500 a month I'm paying. Doctor says, yeah, sorry. Calls somebody else and says, hey, I have this health insurance and I'm really having headaches. I'm really having head issues. I just need to get a really good kind of medicine that's going to make my headache go away. Doctor says, yeah, sure, we'll take your insurance. Guy goes in, doctor gives him a prescription, calls it into a pharmacy. Pharmacy says, hey, we have your medicine, but we don't take your insurance. And therefore, if you need this, it's going to cost you now $1,000. And the guy says, but I have insurance. And the pharmacy says, yeah, but we don't take it. Guy goes back to the doctor. By the time he gets back to the doctor says, oh, I'm sorry, they changed the program, and now you are out of network. And this is where we're at with our healthcare. And I don't think I need to say that. I think that has affected a lot of different people. Out of pocket will always be the way to go. No hospital can turn you away. It's in their code of ethics. What was the other thing that I saw? And this just kind of wrecked me yesterday. I've been following this one. He's like a liaison between the hospital and the insurance. I don't know what you would call him. But he calls the insurance companies to try to figure out why insurances are not paying. And young parents had a 7-year-old that had a form of leukemia and was on the donor match list. And he was up for, they found somebody that matched him perfectly. And they had been waiting a while. So when it came time for the insurance to okay the surgery, the insurance company said, oh, we don't think it's necessary. And the liaison said, look, if this child does not get this surgery, he's not going to survive. And the insurance company, they went back and forth and back and forth. And while they were going back and forth, the child ended up passing. Parents, their anguish, knowing they had a match that would keep their child alive. This is our healthcare system. So when you see me moan and groan about certain things, you do not pay for things that are broken. You don't buy things with the thought of, well, if I need it, because if I need it pays high salaries for all of these CEOs and all these kickbacks for doctors. So as I'm, doing my research, rabbit hole stuff, and because, Medicare is around the corner, which I'm not signing up for. As long as I am not taking my Social Security, which is tied into my Medicare, I'm not doing it. And I don't want to fight with anybody, and I understand law is law, and I'm not one not to follow the law, but I will fight this tooth and nail because I don't think it's right. And what was the other thing I was going to talk about? Oh, can your company be blackballed? As I was looking, trying to see where I wanted to send my resume, and my resume looks fire right now. The experience that I have, it would blow your mind, really. But did you know that if your company is blackballed, which is an old term, canceled would be, the term for today. But if your company is blackballed and it has a reputation behind it because of the people who are running the operation, the people who are running the business, the people who are owning the business, nobody will want to go work there. And those that are working there, everybody wants to leave. So as you are looking for jobs in this crazy time that we live, look and study the company that you are trying to go to work for. Because if they are blackballed by an industry, by society, by a neighborhood, that will not be where you want to go. And if you do end up going there, you will want to leave real quick. All these things that I've been trying to learn and study as I am, I'm at a different point in my life. I'm at a different stage in my life. I just want to teach. It's really all I want to do. Oh, I didn't even say who I am. I'm Kitryn Marie, reside in St. Louis, Missouri. I'm an artist, writer, speaker, life, and a business coach. Teach a variety of art and communication classes, creative painting classes, how to put a vision together based in life coaching. I business coach creative-minded women who want to start side hustles. We live in this really, really crazy time right now. We're trying to make all of our money stretch the best way that we know how to do it. And I think yesterday I'd said, $3,200 is what I need to make in order to live bare minimum. My income, right now is so way down. And I'm piecemealing, just trying to make everything stretch. But when you add up that $3,200 a month, it comes out to $38,000 a year. That's still under poverty. That's still under poverty, and that is bare minimum. So with the money that you are earning, depending on how many are in your family, how are you making that money stretch? What is all of those hard-earned dollars going for? And are you tired of working for somebody else, making their money, making sure they're getting their salaries when you are not getting what you know you deserve? Talk about that in a lot of my classes. I talk about that, especially in my vision board class. When we talk about where you are right now and where you really like to be and where you know you would be served so much better. And just because somebody offers you a management position, are you able to freely change the structure? Or are you being asked to just align with the madness that's not helping anybody other than those that have been in a structure for, 45 years who refuse to do anything different? Think about it. Maybe about 20 years ago, I would have thought about some sort of management, although I did run the banquet hall and I was the operations manager and event coordinator and human resources. It was a one-stop shop kind of job, and I loved it, absolutely loved it. Hired, fired, did a lot of stuff in it. And when the world turned upside down, I was the first one they let go, although I had made the company a lot of money. But at this point in life, being 65 in a couple months, I don't want the stress. I'm already on, nervous system shut down due to the states, that the restaurant that I work in. Do I resent taking the job? No, I don't resent taking it, but when there are not a lot of jobs out there and you are, have been looking for a very long time, literally I went into that restaurant and begged for a job because nobody was really hiring, and at that time I was working 3 jobs. I was coming and going and meeting the candle, burning the candle at both ends, and it wasn't enough with 3 jobs, and now it is not enough with the one that I have. So as I promote who I am and what I do, and as I am putting up my short form content, to draw interest, so somebody will want to take a business coaching class. Somebody will want to take a vision board class, trying to figure out who they really are and where are they going with the rest of their life. Teaching also, a creative painting class. When you learn how to be creative, the logical side in your life really, really works. This content creating, just talking as if somebody was right in front of me, because that's how people get to know who you are. And something else that I saw, he was talking about his wife, and he said, she's a really funny human being, and everybody really appreciates her and her efforts. He said, but the bottom line is she's really just a personality hire. And I draw a real fine line with that personality hire, because there are people I have heard say, they only hired me for my personality, and I want to look at those people and say, and you are a clown. Look at the way you're dressed, look at the way that you look, because image says everything, and your image represents the company that you were working for. So if you were just been brought in for your personality, I question the company, because there's more to just a personality, and there's more to that personality hire. Not everybody wants to be entertained by things that are unappealing. And because you have a really good, funny side to you, that doesn't necessarily mean you're bringing anything to that company. You don't have to agree with me, but that's just my thought. Image does say everything. Your intelligence, the way that you speak, the way that you articulate, the way that you communicate a message. Talk about all those things. My business coaching class, my vision board class. Not so much in my painting class, because really it's a lot of fun. 4 hours moving paints around. Talk about perspective, perception, imagery, color theory. But right now I'm just it is almost 1 o'clock. Seems like I've been up for hours and hours. Did some laundry, threw myself together, unloaded the dishwasher, made a really good pulled pork last night in my Dutch oven, stuck it in the oven for a couple hours. It was so tender. Kids got to work tonight. The dogs are all settled in. I don't know what I want to do, but I did want to touch base with you. But I am Kitryn Marie, an artist, writer, speaker, life, and a business coach, reside in St. Louis, Missouri. It's kind of killing time today. Doing a lot of research, a lot of studying, a lot of nonsense. For today, for tomorrow. Be happy, be blessed, be thankful for everything. Remember, fate turns on a dime, and it is up to you to decide what side of the coin you want to be on. Y'all take care. If you're interested in taking a class, reach out kitrynmarie@gmail.com. Anything about a program coordinator job, vendor coordinating job, let me know. Anything Franklin County would be really wonderful, because I want out of STL. But take care, and I'll see you real soon. Bye.